Alright, you lot. Every week, inbox feels like a septic tank in heat wave, and I dive in bare-handed just to see which questions come with teeth. And this week, we've got fire. You lot didn't come with curiosity, you came with receipts, rage, just enough cynicism to make Yorkshiremen proud. We're talking censorship, studios losing plot, and whether Visa just became final boss of gaming. There's a question in here that actually made me spit me coffee and check if year was still 2025, or if I'd backed out and woken up in George Orwell's loot crate. So if you've ever bought a game and watched it get nerfed into a toddler's bedtime story, if you built a rig just to watch it choke on live service diarrhea, or if you've ever screamed at your bank statement wondering why you just funded another content drought, then strap in. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks, support next patch note censors outro, and let's get into it. First shot comes from Silverbullet90, who asks, what do you feel is good setup for recording videos? I'm looking to pick up some pieces and parts for making a better set of recordings. Nah, it's true, and it stinks. Your mic don't matter if you only use it once a month. Your cam don't matter if your lighting looks like horror show. You know what does matter? Consistency, predictability, stability. That's actual rig. That's what YouTube eats for breakfast. But since you asked, here's a gear breakdown. No sugar. Camera? Sure, get yourself a Canon M50 or a Sony EVE10 if you've got cash to burn. But most of you could film with a Logitech Brio or Elgato Facecam, and no one would notice if your lighting's decent. Lighting? Crucial. Ring light minimum. 2 LEDs or softboxes if you want to stop looking like a Blair Witch confession tape. Mic? Listen's personal. I'm running a Fifine K688, and I'll say it plain, it sounds just as clean as a Shure. XLR power, 0 faff, and it makes every syllable cut like a boot knife. Don't fall for my kite, you're not podcasting with Morgan Freeman. You're just trying not to peak like a screeching toddler in Warzone. Software? OBS Studio. Old else is either bloated or broken. Filters? Noise gate, compressor, limiter. Build your sound chain like a brick shit house. Your voice should be clean, tight, and punch through like a Yorkshireman asking for gravy. Most of all, upload. Don't wait for perfection. You want advice? Stop watching gear reviews and hit record. Cheers, Silverbullet. Solid question. Keep them coming. Next up, Vengeance48 with this one. Hey Scotty, have you ever played Helldivers 2? Yeah. About 2.9 hours worth of boredom kicked in like a breach charge. My son bought it for me, bless him. So we dropped in, blasted some bugs, called in a few tragic turret mishaps, and had a proper laugh. But once chaos dulled and mission templates started looping harder than Ubisoft minimap, that was me done. Uninstalled, gone, didn't even flinch. Look, it's polished, I'll get that. Movement's snappy, style's tight, VO's got charm, but that loop, repetition wrapped in satire. Fetch this, survive that, defend here, extract there. You play 10 missions and realise you've seen all its tricks. It's not a galactic war, it's PowerPoint on a loop. I stuck around for laughs, not content, and when X-Defiant dropped, Helldivers didn't even get a goodbye. It just faded into uninstall list like an X you forgot to block. Good launch, but no legs. Maybe I'll reinstall when it grows some teeth. Till then, it's filed under nearly fun. Thanks for that, Vengeance. Always a pleasure when questions hit close to the bone. Right, Aegis444 comes in with a proper stinger. Ready or Not came out on console, which I'm happy about. However, I wanted your opinion about censorship drama. Is it valid or is it a little overblown? Valid? Mate, it's criminal. It's a mature rated game kneecapped by cowardice. Ready or Not were built on tension, tactical sweeps through morally grey scenarios, hostages, meth dens, schools. Yeah, schools. That's all bloody point. It's uncomfortable. It's raw. It's supposed to put you in boots to someone who don't get luxury of cartoon rules. And then console release lands. Chopped, trimmed, sanitised for content comfort crowd. You paid for steak, they served you tofu. Why? Because Sony and Microsoft shit themselves at idea of digital danger. Don't matter that it's 18 plus. Don't matter that PC version exists. If headlines might sting, go strip it clean. So now we got mature games with the guts removed, storylines dulled, missions vanished, and it sets a brutal precedent. Because once devs know the need to self-censor just to ship, they'll do it from day one, and we end up with fake grit, illusion or edge without any edge. It's not gaming, it's a focus-tested movie with controller prompts. This ain't about going soft. This is about watching industry voluntarily duct tape its own mouth to avoid bad press. So now, it's not overblown, it's start of somewhat worse. And if we keep applauding neutered versions or hard games, they'll stop making hard games altogether. Cheers for that, Aegis. You're on fire this week. Now here's a spicy one from Pyro Friendly Arsonist 9195. Hey Scotty, what's word on upcoming games? Should I wear a helmet for twonks? Mate, helmet? You'll need a full hazmat suit and a lad with a defib standing nearby. State of upcoming games is like wading through a field of landmines made of broken promises and NFT dust. Let me give you a forecast. Sequels nobody asked for, reboots nobody needed, live service experiences that will be dead on arrival with a roadmap that reads like cry for help. Every trailer's either overproduced fluff that says note or cinematic cutscene pretending it's gameplay. They're selling vibes, not substance. We've got studios talking about engagement metrics instead of fun, retention systems instead of replayability, monetization first, mechanics later. Everything feels like it was brainstormed in a marketing meeting where fun is on sick leave. And twonks? Oh, they're everywhere. You'll see them on day one, praising UI and calling it immersive. You'll hear them say, it's not pay to win if it's optional. You'll see them drop 70 quid on a beta build and call it a feature when textures don't load. Twonks are like mould. Once they're in, they're hard to scrub out. So aye, wear a helmet, strap in, and if you see the word roadmap on launch trailer, run like your rig depends on it. Appreciate whining shot Pyro. You're doing Lord's work. Right then, this one comes blazing from S7OU7HD2. How are we going to combat payment processors, Visa and Mastercard, who force Steam to censor our ability to freely and legally purchase any game of our choosing? Isn't this against law, or am I missing something? You're not missing out, mate. You're just seeing game behind game. Cause this right here, this is new censorship. Not through laws, not through bans, but through banks. Steam, DL site, anywhere that takes a credit card. They don't get to choose what to sell, payment overlords do. And if suits at Visa get a whiff of something inappropriate, they shut it down faster than you can set terms of service. It's not illegal because it never hits a courtroom. They don't challenge law, they sidestep it. They don't say, you can't make this, they say, you can't process payments for this. That's enough. That's economic throttling, and it's effective because it's silent. Games don't get banned, they just vanish. Studios don't get sued, they get starved. And players? We're left blinking wondering why that niche title disappeared from our wish list overnight. And sickening part, this were pushed by moral panic from halfway across the world. Handful of pressure groups waving think at children flags. And banks folded like origami. Japanese devs, crushed. Adult content, axed. Entire genres, exiled. Not by courts, by card processors. So how do we fate it? We stop playing their game. We top up our Steam wallets. We fund devs directly. We use all platforms where we can. We make noise when content gets pulled. Real noise. Public, vocal, relentless noise. Because the moment we go quiet, they take another inch. This ain't about content, it's about control. And they're not just holding keys, they're welded lock shut. Massive shout out to you S7OU7HD2. You just dragged real villain into the spotlight. Respect. And here's one I missed earlier, but it's a belter from Ages444. What makes a studio indie, AAA or AA? There's obvious ones like Activision and EA, and one-man teams like Palatro or Lethal Company, but is it budget, manpower, or visual fidelity? What makes a studio AAA or indie? Right, it's blunt answer. Watch tomorrow's video. You'll get full breakdown while I absolutely detonate a twonk who thinks budget equals brilliance. Join Discord, follow on X, consider a channel membership if you want to keep this chaos funded. Smash like it, subscribe, drop your comments and questions below. Bonus points if you make me spit me coffee. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.